What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel where you subscribe for daily updates on Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. We are going to be taking a look at the markets. Has the dump began? Are we going to continue down from here, or will we get one more little fake pump up before the drop? We're going to talk about it. Definitely stick around for the whole video. There is a free Discord group. There's a link below in the description. Check it out. It's an awesome community, guys. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, trading advice, nor is it investment advice. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading in any markets. All right, we're going to, first off, I want to remind you guys, the free Ledger Nano S giveaway, we're going to do that at the end of the video, so make sure you stick around for it. And if you want to get entered to win next week's Ledger Nano S, all you have to do is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, tick the notification bell to get you notified when I post new videos. Take a second out, smash that thumbs up, and leave your comment down below. You'll be entered to win. That's all you got to do. Yeah, let's get into it. Fear and Greed Index. We're at 38. We dropped 3 points from yesterday. Still in the fear zone. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I do see us coming down into here because I do think this drop is going to continue. As you guys know, the macro monthly, nothing but lower highs. That is still in a downtrend in the macro. If we look at the price action, we're getting higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That's bearish divergence. And taking a look at the bullish case here real quick, if we look at this falling broadening wedge in yellow, the measured move of that 16,000. Again, guys, I don't think this is what's going on, but do be aware this is possible. If you look at the thicker white trend lines, if we do come down and get a bounce off of the $89 to $9,200 area, you know, we could be going up to that 27,000. I highly doubt it. I know everybody's extremely bullish here. Take a look at what's going on in the world around you before you make any decisions. Another thing in the weekly, this also suggests that there is a possible run up from here to retest this top trend line one more time before continuing down, but I do believe we are going to be coming down to retest this. Now, a weekly close above this top trend line in the RSI, then I get bullish. But other than that, and that's talking long term, guys. Like I said, we could get a small pump still from here. We'll have to see what happens, see how this weekly closes. And we'll go from there. Let's zoom in a little bit. Look at the EMAs. As of right now, 13 EMA is being resistance at about 10,380. Our support lying around 99.50, somewhere in that range. And then we have our 55 EMA all the way down here at about 9,050. Those are some areas I would definitely be keeping an eye on. Now let's look at the daily chart. As you guys know, we looked at this as a rising wedge. The measured move down is around 38.20, somewhere in that range. Remember, we do have a CME gap that we can see on the 8-hour down here at 35.70. Not saying it has to fill, but definitely be aware of that. If we look at the RSI, we could come up to retest the bottom of this wedge that we fell out of, and that could be as high as the 11,400. I don't see us going any higher than that. As I stated in yesterday's video, I am in shorts. I had some shorts fill at 10.5. I do have more shorts laddered in up to here. Some people say, well, if you know if it's going up, why don't you put in a long? Because I'm not certain it's going up. That's just a possibility. And I am going to just continue shorting unless we pass this. I'm going to put a stop up here around the 11.6. I'm pretty damn bearish here, guys. There's no other way to look at it. As you can see, our 21 EMA crossed to 55 here. We have the 200 EMA, which I do think will come down to retest at least, and that's around the 9,700. Also lining up with this trend line here, and that being the CME futures gap at 9,700, a break of that. And I believe we come down to at least test this trend line down here. It could be around the 7,700 range. And one more thing, if you guys are interested in trading where you can make money going when the market goes up or goes down, either way, that is definitely the way to do it, in my opinion. I will leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. Definitely check it out. You can trade on margin there. You can trade crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, and the Dow Jones, whatever you want, by just using your Bitcoin as collateral. And if you use Savy50 as your promo code, you'll get 50% on top of whatever you deposit to use towards your margin. Savy25 will get you 25% off of your trading fees. I definitely suggest using Prime. It is by far the best exchange. They don't trade against you. You don't get a bunch of scam wicks that you don't see on other exchanges. Yeah, just like you'll see a lot of YouTubers, they'll put 50 different freaking exchanges on there, and I pretty much guarantee they don't use them all. They're just doing it to get commission, which I could do the same thing, but I don't recommend the other exchanges. I only recommend Prime, and that's all I use. So anyways, let's get into it. Looking at the daily here, looking at the dotted or the rising broadening wedge here in the dashed white lines, we did not come down and quite retest it yet, and right now it's around the 7,800. If we came down to retest that, we do have a measured move of a break of that around 64.50, right in that area. I'm going to get this. Another way I want to look at it, if this was the top here, which I do think it was, looking from the swing low to the swing high, if we put the Fibonacci retracements on here, those are all lined up right here. First one at 10,464. We did wick above it yesterday, but right now we're below it again. I do believe this is most likely going to hold as resistance. If not, I'm going to move this over a little bit. We could come up and test that 11,000 to 11,400 area. That's definitely still in the cards as a possibility. I believe that would be just to get everybody hyped up, get a bunch of longs in, and then just crush them. But that would be the 0.236 at 10,464, and then we have the 0.382 at 91.86. This is a real key area here. I would expect at least a bounce there. You know, I think a lot of people are probably going to long around that 9,700, which is a CME gap, and I do think we'll end up getting a long squeeze from that. But this 91.80 area, if that does not hold, then we're looking at the 81.50, which is the 0.5 fib. And then, of course, our golden pocket at 68.50 to 71.20. If that doesn't hold, we have our 64.50. That would be measuring this as a rising broadening wedge. Now, if we were to get a boost up, blast past the 11,000 to 11,004 range, we could come up to retest this trend line again as high as the 13.6. Again, I don't see that happening, but you got to keep in mind it's definitely a possibility. Nobody knows exactly what the market's going to do, but I'm showing you the possibilities and my opinion. 0.786 is at 56.81 if this stuff up here doesn't hold, and if that breaks, most likely we'll come down and close this gap down here. Again, guys, I'm not saying it has to close. I'm not saying we have to go down here, but it makes a lot of sense because anyone that longed here would have their stops below. This could be a stop hunt, quick wick, and then continue back up from there. So just be careful. Keep an eye on that. And don't forget to check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. There's also a link to that below. There's some other affiliate links there for hard wallets and other stuff too. Check them out. But yeah, check her page out. It's a great way to help support the channel. And this is the chart I had on the thumbnail. Looking at this as a rising wedge that we already broke back here in the beginning of last month. And the measured move of that's around the $6,000 range. Of course, that would be getting past the golden pocket zone. I'd watch this area for a bounce. It could bottom here. But like I said, the first target I'm looking for here is around 91.80. If we can't get back above this 10.5 range, even the $10,445 range, if we can open and close a 4 hour above that, then we're probably going to go test that 11.4 area. But again, I don't see it happening. I think this is going to be a lot like what we had over here. If we look at the EMAs, and I'm going to go back to the daily real quick and look at the EMAs. As you can see, we've crossed here. And the reason I think we could still have one more fake pump up is because we did that over here. We came above the 21 EMA. And right now, the 21 EMA lies around 10,750. So we could see that. I'm not saying we have to. But a break below this 200 EMA, just like we did over here, it's going to get real ugly real fast. And right now, that lies at about 9,700. So be aware of that. But anyways, yeah, looking at this, the measured move of this rising wedge, the drop out of that's about 6,000. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. We looked at this as a rising channel that we fell out of with a measured move at 96.89, 96.90, which would close that gap. We still have not quite made it down there. Some people seem to think we've front ran the gap and we continue up from here. Not saying it's not possible, but let's take a look at the RSI on the 4 hour and we'll take a look at something else. As you can see, we had a trend line here, which we did finally break through. Best case scenario here, I think we come up and retest this before continuing down. And this is in the 1 hour here, guys. All right, let's take a look at, did we look at the 4 hour RSI? No, we didn't. So on the 4 hour RSI, it does look like we could get one more little pump up to retest this before coming all the way back down here. All right, let me get back over here. Let's take a look at the one more thing I see possible down here is looking at this as a rising channel or a bear flag, and we take the bear flag pull, bring it down to, if we were to break down, somewhere in this area. This is actually going to raise a little bit now to around the $8,300 range. That would be the target there. Obviously, first we have to break to 97. And let's take one more look. We were looking at this as a triangle. Our first measured move off that was measuring, I'll zoom in a little bit, this as a flag pull, this being a bear flag, and our measured move was 90 or 10,500. We broke below it, tried to get above it again. Guys, we are beating on this resistance down here at about 9,800. I don't think it's going to hold the next time we touch it. I think we're going to drop pretty quickly. But the other measured moves here are looking at the whole width of the triangle. Bring it to where we broke out. It's about 8,700. And then looking at it as a failed bull flag. Measuring the flag pull over here gets us down to about the 7,400. Litecoin. We talked about this yesterday also. As you can see back here, it looks like we're in the same position over here. We had kind of a head and shoulders up here. Head and shoulders up here. Our drop. And our first attempt back up, which we had over here. And same thing, same area. We popped just above the 21 EMA here before continuing down. And where are we now? Just above the 55 EMA. I'm sorry, the yellow is a 55. Just above it and then coming back down just like we did over here. And as you can see in the RSI where we were at before we had this huge drop here. And we're around the same area, guys. It could be happening. We could see this drop today in Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. So our measured move of this, looking at this as a rising channel, the measured move being 38.36. That also would work out for measuring this as a head and shoulders up here. So around that 38.36. And then we could look at this also as a flag pull, this being a bear flag in here. And a measured move of the break of that be around that $30 range. Definitely a possibility, guys. Keep your eyes on that. Let's look at Ethereum. Same thing. We did pop back above into our broadening wedge here, but we are now currently below it again. All the EMA is looking bearish. It's the same thing as our initial dump over here back in the March. We had our fake out back up and continuing down, and we did break above the 21 EMA or the 55. Let me zoom in so you guys can see this. Yeah, we broke above all the EMAs real quick before continuing down, and you see where the RSI was. Let's look over here. RSI is the same spot. Broke above all our EMAs, now back down below, guys. This is almost like a carbon copy. It's almost too easy. But let's look at the break of this wedge. I'm still going to have that target down here around $246 range. And then looking at this as a right here. Let me get that circle out of the way so you can see. Looking at this right here as a bear flag, measure the flag pull, and if we were to break down in this area, it gets us around the $176 range. It is looking pretty damn bearish still, guys. I know a lot of people are still bullish. I'm not there. Like I said, we could get another pop up, but if you look, we had this drawn in here yesterday, and that's exactly where we got rejected, guys. Exactly. And this looks a lot like we're about to see this fail over here. So a break on Ethereum below the $350 range, guys. It's pretty much over, in my opinion. Yeah, let's pick our winner. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and leave your comment down below to win next week's Ledger Nano. But let's do it. We'll generate a random number. Oops, I got to put 7 in. We only had 7 videos. So here we go. 6. Let's go over to the videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That would be, oh my God, what's next for Bitcoin? And copy link address. Bring it over here. Insert the address. Get the YouTube comments. 123 comments and start. We'll pick the winner. All you have to do is get a hold of me. My email's down below. I'll verify it's you, and I'll let you know how once you email me. Jonathan Briggs, you've won. Fantastic show. Looking forward to the bullish resurgence in BTC. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Jonathan, and I'll be looking forward to hearing from you to get your Ledger Nano X. Don't forget, if you want to win next week's, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, make sure you're subscribed by clicking the CryptoSavy logo above my head. I'm out of here, guys. I got to go. Bye.